I really do believe that there's like just like there's a chain of intelligence among like from species to species, that there's a human intelligence, not even just smart people and whatever dumb people. I'm talking separated by class to a certain extent. Then once you reach a certain echelon and you're in a group of people that rule the world, that know what's really going on, that I think that really exists. I don't think that that's a conspiracy, that there's a group of people that are running the world that know secrets that no one else in the world does. That may sound stupid in retrospect, but what I mean is that they know that there's evil stuff going on.
Essentially speaking towards a shadow government type of deal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think the same thing, for sure.
And there's a goal here. There's a goal. You know what I mean? It's not, they're not doing it willy-nilly. There's an end game involved.
Yeah, what do you think it is, though?
One world government, man.
Yeah, I don't want to get into Alex Jones territory, but I see what you mean.
Yeah, that makes the most sense.
See, this is the weird thing, though, is like, is it really that bad for, us to all be in unity?
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
If everybody was good, then
Right.
it wouldn't be a bad thing. But the way that the world is today, it's not even a realistic option, because obviously,
crises.
how do you put capitalism and freedom, and how do you intertwine that with, so much of the world being ruled by communism and stuff like that? Like, what do you do?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? How do you make that work? So we're not there yet, but I see it. I would love to live in a world that was borderless, and that you don't need a fucking passport that identifies you to this one land, like this one body, right? Like, I'm a United States American and I'm just traveling to other countries, right? But I'm not actually from here. I'm not a citizen of here. But, being a citizen of Earth sounds a lot better than that shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's not realistic in our times, I
Right.
don't believe.
Yeah, I don't think it would be any time because of the people. It just can't exist. People are tribal in the first place. But not only that, I don't want to go too deep into like certain literatures and stuff, but when you keep the nations separated, it's a good thing. I don't think it's a bad thing at all. But when you try to put them together, obviously it's easier to control the masses, you know what I mean, and enforce that when everybody's taking orders from the same place. And you won't have the ability to go somewhere that supports your views. You know what I mean? If I lived here in America and America sucked and I didn't have the freedoms that I thought I should have, which that happens, but obviously you got to weigh your options, but if there was a better country for me to live in, I would go there. I wouldn't be here,
Yeah.
and I would become a citizen, and I would go through whatever I had to go through, whatever steps I got to take, and become a citizen. I know it happens all the time where Americans will go be a Canadian citizen.
Yeah.
But when it's a one world government and the whole, like, there's one system, if you don't like what the options are, you don't have a fucking choice, dude.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, no, I see what you mean, that we have options in the way that the world is now. But, in the United States, you still also have options, don't you? Right? It's a United States.
Yeah, you can go to McDonald's or Burger King.
Yeah. Well, no, you can.
I was joking.
Yeah. If you wanted to go to there's just certain things that you can do in certain states that you can't do in other states. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So having a one world united government doesn't necessarily, take away your options necessarily, as long as that system is the right system.
Oh shoot.
I think we can get there, but it's just like we're too stupid, like as a society, when you think of it as like a whole, like the Earth.
So you're saying a one world government wouldn't be bad if there were still territories?
Essentially, yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what we have.
Well,
When
it's
you consider
it's
things like United Nations and things like that, you know what I mean? There is a place where all the leaders of the countries meet, and talk about things,
yeah,
world things.
like the UN. Yeah,
Yeah, that happens. But we still have our freedoms. and
Right.
we still keep evil people out. We keep people from crashing into our buildings with airplanes. You know,
Yeah. We're supposed to.
right?
Sounds like something that we should probably do.
Right.
But I'm saying if you had a system that's based on what, you know, I'm not trying to be like, you know, speaking about like a meritocracy and blah, 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 you know what I mean? But, you know, that's the idea that we had, is that people rule themselves, they rule their own government. I mean, if you apply that, you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
You mean when America started?
The idea of it, yeah.
Yeah.
That was the idea, is that, you know, it's we the people. And it's not that we're being ruled by a government, is that we are in control and rule of that government. And like I said, I'm not trying to be like some kind of, you know, America needs to take over the world or anything like that. But I'm saying, like, in that idea, maybe we could all kind of live, because that really points towards, you know, people being able to vote in their district about what happens to their local economy. And
So if
their
everybody was
locality.
like America.
That's what I'm trying to avoid saying. But I'm
But
saying
that's
that
what you mean, though.
if there was something that was closer to that wasn't communist, like
Right.
where we are being told and in control and the freedoms have been taken away from you, you know, I could see it. But hey, maybe you're right. You know, it could be true. Maybe that is disastrous for us, because even in America right now, the government's getting out of control. You know, I would argue that if you rewound 100 years, that Americans definitely had a bigger say in policy and stuff like that here, and we had that system, right?
Right.
We had that when you talk about, you know, the economic of it, you know, we had a system that was supposed to be about, you know, free market capitalism, but now you would argue that it's corporate capitalism, right? And the stock market, for some reason, tells us how good the economy is doing, but not like how average people are doing. And I think it's gotten out of hand even with capitalism. And there were so many founding fathers that said that, hey, capitalism is essentially doomed to fail and civil war is necessary. Like, you know what I mean? How are you gonna have that system with the whole world? You're gonna have the whole world in a civil war? What is
Right.
it, you know? Because then I don't know. It's down a rabbit hole, like you said.
A lot of people don't like the way that we do things here. You know what I mean? Is all over the world, they hate America.
Yeah.
And they think that we're doomed to fail eventually. We're a pretty young country.
Yep.
And I watched a documentary that was talking about how most democracies that are set up the way that we have, like democratic republics, they fail after about 300 years. And that's about where we're at. You know,